Hello everybody, okie dokie. I've been trying for ages to think of a yellow and blue design. Here it is. It's to go with the dress, which I will show you at the end. So I am using, I've got Glam and Glits in Shirley, which is the blue. And then I searched everywhere for the yellow to match. And in the end, the yellow is from Neo Nails. It's called Caribbean Sunsplash and it matched my dress perfectly. So this was awesome. I'm also using Glitterbells glass slippers. I'm using the Glitter Fairies multi-cut holographic in Royal. And also multi-cut Indian Summer in Marigold. These are stunning. I mean, they are stunning. I'm using my size 10 Glitter Fairy brush. I'm using my Annabelle's monomer because that goes with all acrylic systems. It's just so simple when you have that because you can just pick out all your favourite acrylic and not have to worry about matching monomers and all this kind of thing. So first I'm building a nail bed, extended nail bed on my thumb and my ring finger. I've just shown you the thumb here. This is quite cat-handed because my hand is facing away from me because the camera's in front of me. So yeah, the camera's opposite me facing forward. So if it looks a bit awkward, it's because it is. My wrist is twisted away from me and I'm trying to lean over to see what I'm doing. But I just wanted to get as close as I could for you guys to have a look. So I'm just extending out that nail bed. Trying to do it in 2 beads, but I think I had to come in and fill around the edges because I didn't quite put enough on my second bead to fill it up there. I'm using CJP Cherry Blossom Blush for this. Now I haven't worked with CJP powders for ages and I actually really struggled with it. I'm used to just slower setting, like wetter powders. I just struggled with it a little bit, but that's because I haven't used it for so long. And you get used to kind of Trilogy. I just needed a slightly pinker shade, otherwise I would have used my Trilogy Cover Pink. So I'm literally just doing that, just checking that I'm not too close to that cuticle. I do have a tendency to wander up a bit too close. I'm just bringing that wall up a little bit. I'd rather have too much than not enough because you can file it down and I just want that wall to be high enough to butt the colour up to. So I'm going to do that and then I'm going to let it set. Let's move on to the pinky. So I'm using Shirley by Glam and Glits. Now, interestingly enough, all the Glam and Glits powders I have work really well wet. This one I find works better and is more opaque if you just use a bigger bead a bit drier. I don't know if anyone else has had the same, but I found when I worked wet with this, it wasn't very opaque and it took quite a few beads to kind of get the opacity that I wanted. And it's only on that one. Like the other ones I've got, you can paint on literally quite really watery. But you'll see later on in the set when I show you a different nail that when I use quite a big bead and keep it quite solid, the opacity is there instantly. So interestingly, and it kind of was a bit speckly as well. I guess maybe blue's a difficult colour. I don't know. But that's Shirley. I haven't tried any of the other blues. All I'm doing is doing a whole nail. I'm keeping it as thin as I possibly can because this is going to be the backdrop to then put the royal glitter on top. So I'm being careful around the cuticle area because it does stain really easily. But yeah, I definitely used more beads than I wanted. And how difficult was it for me to find inspiration? I couldn't find any yellow and blue nails. I was really struggling with the colours that I needed. And at one point I thought, oh crikey, does that mean they're going to look hideous? But I'm glad I stuck with it and had a play and came up with this because everybody loved them, I love them. So now I'm going in with just a bead of glass slippers and then dipped into the Royal holographic multi-cut from the Glitter Fairy. I will leave links to everything down below. Oh, I forgot to tell you, I've already prepared my nails, pushed my cuticles back, buffed the nails, added my tips, which are from Glitter Planet UK. They are the pre-pinched stiletto tips. They are the doggies danglies. You need to get them. I've got a 10% discount code. I will put it in the description box below. And each nail has had a thin, clear base. I forgot to tell you at the beginning, I am rubbish. But the wedding was yesterday. I'm rather fragile today. I'm just going to be honest with you. I'm pretty fragile. I just about remember my name. So again, although I'm doing a full glitter nail and I've still got a layer of clear acrylic, a layer of coloured acrylic and glitter, that's still a thin nail. So I'm keeping everything nice and thin, so I don't want to go too bulky. Now with this nail, I'm going to be doing the blocking with the linear blocking that I call it. So I'm going to have a line of the Marigold going through the middle and then the Shirley blue colour either side. So first I've just dipped in a bead of glass slippers. I have sped this bit up because this took me forever. I just wanted it to be perfect, and this is only the second time I've done this. So basically I'm building that line up down the centre and I'm trying to keep it, at the moment it's just I dip in the glass slippers, I dip in the glitter, pop it on the nail, keep it quite dry so it doesn't splodge everywhere. And I'm just doing it a little section at a time because that's how I find it easy. I'm sure once I've done it a few times I should just bang it out like God knows what, but at the moment I'm just being nice and careful, trying to keep it straight as possible all the time with my hand facing the wrong flipping direction. This was not easy to film on myself, I have to say. I really need the camera set up at a different angle so I can see what I'm doing on my nails because I really struggle. So I'm just going to take that down, try and keep it centralised, try and keep it even and neat, and then I'll let that set and I'll move on to the other nails. And once it's set, I'll cap that in the glass slippers, which is clear, and I'll make sure that the sides are high enough for me to file later on. And then what I'll do is later on in the video I'll show you how I file those sides nice and crisp. So I'm just going in now and checking that everything's not moved, it's all in place and that I'm happy with it. Adding little bits here and there if I feel that it just needs, you know, plumping out a little bit because I want it to be as even as possible. And there we go, that's the first stage of that now. So now what I'm doing is going in with my full nail in Caribbean Sunsplash from Neo. This colour was amazing to work with. Can we just like give Neo a high five here? Because some of the Neo nails colours I've got are not as good to work with, but this was great. The pink I've got actually, what's that called? Frantic Fuchsia, that's awesome to work with as well. But this was a perfect colour. It was just spot on. I went to every company that I buy acrylic from and I could not find the right colour. I was gutted, and then I thought, hang on a minute, Neo nails. And it was like, I think it was like £3.49 for a 7 gram pot. So, bargain. And it works with the Glitterbells monomer, so even better. As you can see, it's really nice opaque finish, beautiful colour, goes on like a dream. It's very pigmented, so that means it can be a bit sticky on the brush, but as long as you keep your brush clean and you're aware of what you're doing, you're fine. It sets nice, it's beautiful. I'm going to be going in over this with the Marigold Indian Summer from the Glitter Fairy. So yeah, once I've done my cuticle bead and pulled that down and blended that back into the main bead, which you'll see now. Try not to flood that cuticle because I don't want yellow stained hands. That would look really strange. And just gently teasing that bead into place, and then from the top pulling it down to blend it into the last bead. If there's any areas that are a little bit patchy still where I haven't had enough product, I'll just go back in and add little beads here and there just to even that out. It's always the risk when you're working with quite opaque colours. If you miss a tiny bit, you notice it, so it's just worth it. But I mean, it went on really easily. And then literally I'm going to just dip into the glass slippers clear again and then go straight into the Indian Summer multi-cut glitter and do a full glitter nail with that as well. Notice I haven't capped anything yet. I'm just letting them set up good and proper so I don't get in a pickle. Can you look at this glitter? Oh my God, it is stunning. It is so beautiful. I want the whole stack. I just need an excuse to tell my husband that I'm buying it. That's all. Because I'll have it. So I'm just going to go in. Once I've got a wet bead on there, to be honest, I will just tap the glitter in here and there. I won't add any more acrylic unless I absolutely need to, because I want it to be a slim, beautiful stiletto nail and not too bulky. And there is always that risk of going a bit bulky at the cuticle, which I did actually. When I capped, I wasn't happy with the cuticle. So I filed in my smile line, and I'm going to go in with the Caribbean Sunsplash. I'm going to butt that up to the smile line. I'm not too bothered if I do get in a bit of a mess, because I am going to do some more filing anyway, but I was trying to be neat and tidy. Bear in mind this was late at night. I'd already spent the day doing my mother's nails and travelling, and I was exhausted, and I was like, doing my own nails. It's a chore actually when you have to do your own nails. It's so, especially filming it, but I like doing it, so you know. So I'm literally just going to do that, build up the smile line. There's no glitter on this nail. This is going to be plain Caribbean Sunsplash smile line, but there will be a ton of bling on it. I forgot to film putting my Swarovski crystals. I bought some Swarovski crystals from Crystal Parade recently, and then I did buy the crystal tiara set for the clusters from the Glitter Fairy, and initially I put some of the big pointy back squares and stuff, but where I've got really tiny nails, like even in Glitter Planet, I use the smallest pre-pinched stiletto tip for my little finger, and most people are like 2 or 3 sizes up. I've got tiny nails, so the bigger crystals just looked so big on my nails, unfortunately, but I'll keep them for someone else. So I'm doing the same on the thumb. I'm just going in with Glam and Glits Shirley now and building that up. Again, if you're prepared to do a bit of filing, it doesn't really matter, but if you're trying to be super neat, it's hard with a colour like this because it will stain. I think if you're not filming, it's probably a lot easier because you can have it at the angle you want. So I'm just going to keep that as neat as I possibly can. I will be building an apex on this as well, because I didn't build enough of an apex with the cover pink. So again, it took a lot of beads to make this as opaque as I needed it. I didn't want to bulk it out. I was trying not to, but I should have worked with it a bit drier. It's just I'm so used to Glam and Glitz working with it super wet, but not this colour. I would suggest using it a little bit drier. I'm going to build that up, let that set. Again, that's not going to have any glitter on it. That will be just a full colour nail with a ton of bling on it. I did try and remove the stain, and then I was like, do you know what? I'm just going to file it down. I just can't be doing with that. I can't take that kind of negativity in my life, okay? So this is how I file in the linear design. I'm always supporting with my thumb because obviously these nails are long and it does hurt, and I use a new file, so be careful, because I did cut the crap out of my cuticles actually. You'll see at the end it was a mess. There was blood and everything, so just be careful. Now look, I'm using a slightly drier and bigger bead of the Shirley, and you can see it works a lot better. It's quite sticky because it's very pigmented, but it just works a lot better if you go in like that. Absolutely. As opposed to like a very thin wet bead. It just, you've got it straight there if you go in with a nice big bead. A big chunky bead. So now I'm just going in both sides. They've been filed nice and crisp, so I'm going to go in with Shirley on both sides. Doesn't matter if it goes over. You want it you know, real butted up in there, so by going over the lines you can file it in afterwards and then it reveals the design. And I didn't film filing either because it was really tricky. I couldn't file that way round and show you guys what I was doing. It was really, really awkward. That's why I only showed you a little bit of filing the line design down the middle. I've tried to zoom in here as best I can without losing too much quality. This is the bit when if you were doing this on a client, they'd be looking at it going, what the hell is she doing to my finger? Oh my God. Get me out of this chair. And you have to assure them that it all will be well. And there's a really noisy motorbike going past. So yep, just checking here, try not to get too close, but as close as I safely can to the cuticle to tidy up that design. And then after that I will be filing it in, going in, capping with glass slippers, and I can't remember if I remembered to film that bit or not. I thought I filmed the capping, but I've got a feeling that I didn't. I've just got this, yeah, I've obviously forgot to press record. So I've capped it, I've added some Swarovski crystals, and now's the best bit anyway, it's the top coat. Oh, cue angelic, godly type music. I'm just using Blue Sky No Wipe top coat. I do need to get another one or a new top coat. I might try Kira Sky, but I've heard it yellows a little bit. I don't know if anyone else has had that trouble. Only on white, obviously. So these crystals I've got on here, the chunky big, I don't know if it's a teardrop or a raindrop, but the big one is from the Glitter Fairies Crystal Tiara set. And so are a couple of the pointy backs that I'm using, the smaller clear crystals. And then the other ones, the Crystal ABs and the smaller teardroppy, raindroppy thingies, very technical, are from Crystal Parade. I just used a blob of acrylic for the larger crystal and the rest, the little pointy backs, and then the rest were done using NSI Polybond. And I go in with my detailer brush, which is from Illuminails. I think it's the Dementor, it's called. Illumia. I think that's right. I'll put it below. It's a really good brush. Oh, this is so nice. Look, it's all filed in and beautiful. I love that nail. I adore it. It's worked really, really well. So yeah, just top coating, revealing the sparkle. Yeah, stunning. And the next nail, that Marigold Indian Summer multi-cut, is life. Just look at it. It just brings that nail to life. Having the solid colour behind the glitter is great because it gives it much more dimension and makes it look fuller. It's a really good trick. Also, it just gives the nail that strength. You've got a little clear base and some colour. That thumb I adore. I love it. I just love the blue on that smile line. I just love it. I love them all, to be honest, because I was so stressed about this set. I really was worried that it just wouldn't go and that the idea I had in my head wouldn't work. And then when I looked at them and they all came together, I was like, wow. Okay, I'm happy. And I've got a picture at the end to show you they completely matched my outfit. I was so happy. I love it when a plan comes together like that. Oh, there was a hair. There's always one. So yeah, at the end of this, I'll show you the finished set, and I'll also show you just my silly face with my outfit. So I had a yellow dress, I had a blue jacket and my hat. And there you go. That's the finished set. I hope you enjoyed this video. I will see you soon. Don't forget to like and subscribe.